Before we begin today's video, I wanted to provide a little bit of an update on a couple of things. First of all, the NAS that I built for my parents and successfully, somehow, delivered to them over this Christmas holiday turned out to be a lot more trouble than I thought. This supposedly working card doesn't work. When you actually try to use all 6 or even just all 4 of the discs attached to it, freaks out and drops one of the discs every single time. Great when you're trying to set up a RAID array. So what I ended up doing is I ditched it in favor of one of these SAS cards that I have. It's a lot higher quality than this, but it's my parents. They're worth it. So with that out of the way, and also with the hard drives out of the way, it's time for the first ever mail time. Now this I have been waiting on for a very, very long time. It took about a month and a half to get here. This is the knife we used to cut the end off that PCI Express slot, by the way. It's a good mail opening knife. Who would have thought? This is the case that I will be using for my NAS. Now I just need to find some drives for it. This is a Jonesbo, I believe, N4. Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, it says right on the side. How come you didn't tell me? No matter. Let's go ahead and get this. Oh, that is pretty. Unboxed here. We're not going to be able to build in it just yet, but that video is coming very soon. This cost a lot of money. Let's go ahead and get the camera in real quick, just to give it a good look over. So I didn't have that many requirements for a case. I had to have front accessible drive bays. Kind of wish this was hinged, but I'm not going to complain. It's magnetic, which is nice. I wanted it to be micro ATX, so I could use one of my server boards. But I see that I have made a mistake on the power supply. I thought that this was a flex ATX power supply. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's what it calls for. Yeah. It calls for a flex ATX power supply. That is not a flex ATX bracket. That is a SFX bracket. Oh dear, I'm going to have to find one of those. Luckily, it's a NAS. I don't need a whole lot of wattage, so... What the hell was that? I don't know if that showed up on camera. My neighbors are carrying some very heavy Christmas presents downstairs, and they dropped one of them, and it hit the railing. Made a very large ding. Anyway, so clearly there's more to be done as far as preparation for this case, but I am super, super pleased with how this looks. Now, of course, there's more. And I must admit, I did open one of these packages already, and it's this one. This, very, very excited for. I'm not sure if we'll be able to make it work, but I believe this is a HD 3670. In AGP, super rare. Was that correct? No, 2600 XT. I was wrong. 2600 XT. Still, real kick-ass AGP card if I can get it to work. I can see it has some tarnish on several of the AGP pins here, or whatever you call those, pads. I'm tired. I just got back from a 1,000-mile road trip. So, forgive me as I make these faux pas. I also noticed that this power connector is bent back a bit, and I can already see some discoloration around the power sockets, and someone has already tried to resolder them. So there's a good chance we can get this to work. I hope. That would be very cool. Anyway, this is not native AGP. It uses an AGP bridge chip. And now for this package. I recently sold a computer with my RX 460 in it, which is a perfectly serviceable graphics card. The guy wanted a PC that could play DayZ, and according to the DayZ system requirements, it requires basically nothing. I mean, the game's ancient. Unfortunately, the DayZ system requirements are not accurate or up to date. So the card that I gave him is just not capable of playing the game, basically at all. So, yeah, even though I barely sold the computer for anything, I sold him a monitor for 80 bucks and the computer for a further 20. This is an RX 480, should be the 8 gig variant. Oh, that is super worn off. Yes, 8 gig card. And this should be able to play the game just fine, assuming it works. Paid about 50 bucks for it after shipping, and today we're going to see if it works. But that comes later. Right now, let's get on to the actual video. I visited my family over Christmas. That's what the road trip was for. Wow, it took a long time. But I'm glad I visited. I had a lot of fun. I was able to hand deliver the NAS. And I also found out that a lot of my family members actually watch my videos, which really amazes me because I didn't think any of them would be interested in this sort of stuff. So to you, thank you. I appreciate you very, very much. I'll try not to bore you. So, anyway, one of them is my dad. I didn't think he watched them. So, he decided to donate to the channel. Oh, it's a little heavy. But this was his original gaming machine. I love this case, the Smilodon. It is so cool. It's disgustingly filthy, but I mean, this computer's over a decade old. If I recall correctly, what was originally in here was the first i5, like the i5 650. I wish it was a 750 because the 650 is just an i3 in disguise. It's 2 cores with 4 threads. The i5 750, which, believe it or not, came out first, had 4 cores like a modern-ish i5. 4 real cores. Could be wrong. He also originally had a... Well, this doesn't stay open or stay closed anymore. Oh well. It originally had an HD 5770 graphics card, and after a while, I believe I upgraded him, to a GTX 660. That happened a while later. And the only thing that's missing from this PC right now is he took the hard drive out of it. But I do see he left his original SSD, an OCZ, an Agility SSD. Ancient, but also extremely delightful. So, I don't actually know how to remove this side panel. I think you can't. It's on this hinge. This thing is mega dirty, though. We're gonna get you in closer while I start disassembling this thing. But there are some really, really cool features that I would love to show you. So, first things first. In order to prepare for disassembly, we're gonna close it again. Because of this. I'm gonna undo this and this, which isn't even clipped, Look at that. Is that not the coolest thing? That's awesome. That is genuinely awesome. Looks like we've got the hard drive mounting sleds. That's nice. There's a fly in there. A literal dead fly. Yeah, I wasn't joking. This thing is really, really dirty. So what we are going to do, for now at least, is just unplug everything. Yeah. Oh. Oh, that's the PC speaker. That's weird. Mounted to the case, looks like. Oh, I see where it went. Well, we're gonna set that aside. And wow. There's yeah. Oh my god. Okay, my wife would kill me if I cleaned this in here. So we're actually going to go ahead and grab a screwdriver, which is over here somewhere. There we go. We're just going to take all this out. And I can see that my stepdad did exactly what I did, or what I usually do, and didn't put the I/O shield on. But that's okay. Missing screw. How dare you? One. Got two. Oh, they've got the little cardboard washers. That's hilarious. You never see those. Get this out of here. The GTX 660 is an awesome card. Is this 1 gig or 2 gig? Not going to tell me, is it? Nope. It's gross though, so we're going to clean that too. Wi-Fi card. Get these antennas off of here. I wonder if this board can do SLI. I'll have to look at that. It doesn't say SLI on it, and Asus loves their branding, so it probably doesn't do SLI. Then again, I don't know. We'll have to check that out. That's pretty dusty too. Nice RAM. What type? I know it's Corsair, but Vengeance. Looks like 2 4GB sticks for 8 gigs total. That would have been amazing in 2009 when this was new. Another dust bunny. Looks like he used a clip-on Thermaltake tower cooler. Not a bad choice. It's not like the i5 creates a lot of power. Yeah, that needed to be replaced. I don't know where my rag is. There it is. Okay. Get that cleaned off, and we do have the 750. Perfect. Okay. That's good news. That's really bad too. Not surprising. We'll get it cleaned up. Don't want to knock these everywhere, so let's get the rest of this motherboard out. We will be replacing that clock battery. And when we go to test this, we will be installing Windows 10. It's easier. This board can do it. So I don't see any reason not to. Not sure why this is there. Okay. Missing another screw, but I don't think this case actually has those standoffs installed. Whew. I'm trying really hard not to sneeze right now. Um, let's get the rest of this. Where am I going to put this? I'm out of space. Wow. Got to bring this whole case outside, I think. Maybe I can get the power supply out. A 750 watt looks like. Not sure what brand. Probably Corsair does the TX series, right? I think it's a Corsair. Good brand. Power supply is free. Get that out real quick. Okay, survey says it is Corsair. Oh, wow. That's a mess of cables, isn't it? Okay. That's not connected to anything. Okay. I can use that later. Yeah. That looks like some fans. That was going to nothing. So we're going to take that off so it doesn't short on anything. Looks like there's another. Okay. Would you be surprised if I said it was dirty? I think this is taken apart enough. Let's get this outside. Hello. Normally I try to speed up the cleaning process, but not this time. I I want you to see just how gross that thing was. It's not the dirtiest I've ever had, but I think it is the dustiest. So we're gonna set these things off to the side. We're gonna go ahead and wipe down the graphics card. I'll see if I can find one of my makeup brushes to get the PCB on the back. Don't think there's much we can really do about this. It's fine anyway. We'll go ahead and get the power supply. You want to be careful when you're cleaning power supplies. You don't want to get liquid inside them. That is not good. No bueno. What I'm saying is don't do what I'm doing. Spray the cloth. This is a nice power supply. Even today, it's just nice. I wonder if he ever replaced this. Probably not, but don't know. So this card here, the Wi-Fi card. Oh, also I grabbed a new cloth just so I wasn't spreading thermal paste goo everywhere. That side's mostly clean. Now I need a brush. And I thought I had set one aside specifically for this before I began recording. But clearly I was wrong. So I think, yes, here we go. Oh, I did have one handy. We're going to go ahead and try and get the rest of this. Just a light dusting. And this, mostly around these solder joints where they like to grab the cloth. Because canned air can only go so far. Okay, satisfied with those. I'll put this over here, just for now. But this was an awesome, awesome build back in the day. Anyone who had this would have been extremely pleased with the performance. Let's get the outside of the case, which it's not grimy or anything gross like that. It's just dusty. Making me sneeze off camera violently. Also, my parents have pets and I am allergic to cats. I love cats, but I am allergic. It's just, it gets me. Okay. I'm leaving fibers all over this case from this nice new washcloth. But you know, that's better than cat hair. Okay, got the top here. Wow, that is just leaving fibers everywhere. This is a really good looking case, and it's in great condition too. Let's try to get the front a little bit. I'm going to have to figure something out to keep this door closed. I'm sure I can get something to work. Wow, there's still a lot of gross cat hair and stuff kind of sucked into this grill that the canned air did not get. But overall, still in great shape. I say that and then I open it. Gross. Okay, let's see maybe what we can do about that. Got this kind of wadded up. Yeah, that works. Or at least it seems to. Reasonably well. That's gross. Could be worse though. I could probably play up how gross this is for YouTube, but I don't think that's necessary. It's plenty dirty on its own without me hamming it up. So I'm also really bad at doing that. So if I say something's dirty, it's dirty. Oh, okay. Now with this, I really like this acrylic panel. Not all acrylic panels from back then were good. This one's pretty tasteful. Looks like it's fairly thick. And unlike most of the ones that I've seen, it's not cracked. None of these fake plastic rivets are missing. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to clean this fan grill. Well, actually that's working pretty good. Yeah. These are hard to clean without like breaking the fins. I think we'll grab the canned air one last time. Good enough. Not a whole lot of cleaning to do on the inside. But I do want to get it nice, so here we go. Okay. Still some dust in here. I really tried to get all of this out, but there was just so much. This is what happens when you have pets, though. Okay. The back is the back. I'm not going to clean that. Okay. I think at this point, it's time to start reassembling it. Unfortunately, I do not currently have a working, stress on the working, HD 5770. So I can't test what this would have originally been like. There's just so much. It never ends. At least they weren't a smoking household. That's a spider. Where's mine? Got it. Jeez Louise. Okay. Now we can start rebuilding this. Oh, that's right, put them. Let me know down in the comments what type of testing you'd like to see on systems like this. Should I stick to era-appropriate games and hardware? Like, should I build the best 2009 PC with this? We certainly could. I've got some awesome cards that would work perfectly in this. Or should we just see how far we can go with upgrades. I like that idea. Well, that dust is still getting to me. Jeez. Okay. It's bad. It is so bad. I'll be right back. And I suppose it doesn't help that I'm also just a little bit sick. So, yeah. I need some thermal paste. There we go. There's some thermal paste. Nope, that's not thermal paste. There we go. Got some. I believe that this board not only can work with the i7 800 series, but also it might work with some of the socket 1156 Xeon processors. That would be fun. Those are cool. And it's a really cheap way to get performance. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 4. That is on. CPU fan. I'm not sure why he used these to connect the fans when there is provisions on the board for chassis fans, but we're just going to do it however he did it. Let me grab a new BIOS battery. Should have a bunch over here. Got a bunch of candy. That won't help. Let me find my BIOS batteries. Batteries acquired. And in. Graphics card now. Since we had an extra screw there, we're going to go ahead and screw this in with 2 this time. It doesn't really affect anything to screw it in with only 1, but this is technically the proper way to do it. And I'm going to use these off-color screws so no one will see them except for thousands of people on the internet. Hopefully thousands. Honestly, I'd be happy if this video got 800 views. That would be nice. Get this Wi-Fi card back in, which is a Linksys Range Plus wireless PCI adapter with no other information. Model number WMP110 version 2. I doubt they used this very often. My dad had always had Ethernet. He was huge into Team Fortress 2 back in the day, and Unreal Tournament 2004. Very good games, mind you. Very good games. So let's get this power supply back in. There we go. Need 1 screw just to get it started. Screwdriver. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Grab the rest of these 3. I will admit, it would have been smarter to put the power supply in while the case was on its side, but I'm not very intelligent, so here we are. Also, I know this computer has probably been upgraded over time because it has a Blu-ray drive. Or at least I think it does. That's what I saw on the front there. Did they have Blu-ray drives for PCs in 2009? Maybe? 2009, 2010-ish? That might be original. I genuinely do not know. So we're going to tuck this Molex down here at the bottom and plug all the fans into it. What a pain in the butt. Let's get you a better view. Okay. Much better. Could probably just daisy chain a lot of these, but he didn't have that done. He just had them all plugged into their own individual Molex connectors, but you know, it all works. You don't have to daisy chain things. Let's go ahead and get these two plugged in. I think this one is USB. Another USB. And HD audio, which goes way over here. Behind the Wi-Fi card where you can't see it. Oh, this dust is making me have to sneeze again. I'm dying here. Oh my god. Okay. Just start to tuck things off to the side. Well, you can get that plugged in for sure. That's PCI Express taken care of. What is this? Oh, that's what this was powering. Okay. And a Molex for you. Really? There we go. Okay. One minor complaint about this case. Where is my cable management? Hello? Yes, I'd like some, please. No wonder he's got zip ties up here. Another PCIe, which we don't need. See, CPU 8 pin's been zip tied up here, so that'll be not able to be plugged in until this is all the way shut. That's okay. There's a floppy drive in here. Well, now I have to connect that. No, that's IDE. Let's see what I've got. Yeah, that might work. I don't think this board has a floppy connector. Wait. So why is there a floppy drive in there? What? Yeah, there's no... What? Okay. Well, maybe... Probably use one of these. Yeah. Actually, no. Power supply should have a provision. Yes, there we go. For floppy power. I don't even know if this drive works, but we're going to try it. Okay, I know you can't see that very well. I'm sorry. And this will dangle there for a hot second. This dust is killing me. Oh God, I'll be right back again. I stirred it up. I shouldn't have cleaned it. Okay. More PCIe power. Cool. Motherboard's plugged in and connected this time. So let's see what we've got here. Hard drive LED. I think that way. Is there no power LED? Oh. No, we're not plugging that in. Remember what I said about this flopping around shorting on the case? Yeah, this could have caused a fire. This has already done that at some point. Yeah, that's trash. Okay, reset switch. Goes at the end there. And power switch should go here. And now I just have to get all these cords out of the way, all these cables. The thousands upon thousands of extra PCIe cables. Maybe he was preparing for Crossfire or SLI or something. You know what? Let's get this plugged in. So this goes to the Blu-ray drive. This goes here. And to protect my stepdad's data, we will be wiping that. I need SATA power. One for the optical drive, if I can even see where I'm plugging it in. I got it. And one for this. I really hope this SSD works. It's 120 gigs. This can just get stuffed up in here. Look at all that. Cable management. Yeah, we're going to call it that. Yeah, that's one of the downsides of this kind of case. So let's try and keep this. I know you can't see this very well. Well, maybe I can just do that. And now I can probably get the CPU 8-pin plugged in. Get this out of the way. Okay. Oh, that's right, that opens. Oh, I'll have to get some magnets or something. But I think, in theory, we're ready to power this sucker on. Oh, that's right, this. We need to run this outside of the case through the missing I/O plate, and then we can plug that into the USB port on the back. And there, we theoretically have a floppy drive. It might be plugged in upside down, not the USB, the actual part that plugs into the back of the floppy drive, but we can deal with that later. Okay, if this Wi-Fi card works, I'll be very happy because that means I won't have to steal my wife's Ethernet cable again. So, although I would love to try this with a 5770 like it was originally built, we're sticking with the 660 for now, and then I think we're going to try it with that RX 480 just to see how far we can go with this PC. So, time for the fire test. Let me get things prepared. I'll be right back. Actually, I forgot to put the RAM in. Yeah, see, we're not getting very far without that, especially if I keep kicking the camera. So we're gonna tuck this under this cable managing nightmare. There's a better way to go about this, but there just kind of isn't in this case. And I mean that both as literally in this case as well as situational. So let's... Okay. Should be good. Okay. I forgot to plug it in, didn't I? Yep. All that setup. Didn't plug it in. Okay, let's try that again. With your life, do we get a free disc? No. Yeah, it does say Blu-ray disc rewriter. Oh, that's kind of cool. Now, do we have a display? Yes, we do. Delete to run setup. Okay. Sees the OCZ. Sees the Blu-ray disc. F1 run setup. Yep. Okay. So it is definitely not 2002, but we can ignore that. Nice. We're going to go enhanced. Configure SATA as AHCI. I'm sure it's fine. System information. Yep, Core i5 750. 8 gigs of RAM. AI tweaker. Oh, overclocking. Sure, we'll set that to auto. Let's see, this is DRAM. Okay, CPU ratio. Speed step, yep. Sure, whatever. This is an overclocking board. This is a nice motherboard. Yeah? Okay. We do want this enabled. Always. Yep, sure. Okay, let's see. Boot device, removable device first. Perfect. We'll go then CD-ROM, then SATA. It sees the SATA drive. Sure. Ooh, it's got Easy Flash too. That's good for the BIOS. Save changes and exit. So it should, in theory... I need something better to clean this with, like a micro... I need a microfiber cloth. If you want to help me buy a microfiber cloth, go to my Patreon. It's in the description. So how do I... Which button is selecting the boot device? We don't want that. Because this still has his Windows installation on there, and I'd rather not dox my parents. So what is boot? This is an Asus board. Is it F9? That's nope. It's not. Delete maybe. Asus ExpressGate. Don't know what that is. Oh, delete is setup. Okay. You know what? I can just change the first drive to the thumb drive. That'll save us a lot of time trying to figure out which button to press. Probably something weird like F6. And while we wait, I'm feeling peckish. Will it boot to Ventoy? I hope so. Yep. Perfect. Okay. I really like this case. So, I don't know if you can see it from there, but this floppy drive, if I had that upside down, this should be just staying green the whole time, which means I think we got it correct. It's probably real gross in there, so let's do one last. Oh, I forgot to get this outside. Whoopsies. Dynex. This looks like it's covering up the USB port, but won't mess with it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get Windows 10 installed. I will see you at the desktop, and when you see me next, I will already have all the drivers installed. I'll have a couple of games installed, probably Steam, and we'll see what we can do. Actually, with 110 after formatting gigs to spare, I think we're going to go ahead and grab one of these mystery 2 terabyte drives. I hate these things. And maybe see about getting one of these installed. And the question is, how does it want me to put it in? I think like this. Yeah, there's not access from the front, so maybe like this. Okay, so while that's installing, let's see what kind of damage we can do. Yeah, the cable management is just so great, you know. Oh boy. Maybe. Oh. Oh, I don't think that's ever coming back out. What's this lever do? Wait. Wait, the whole... Oh my god. Okay, that's kind of cool. Let me try this. How does this work? Okay. With the other side panel off, this whole cage swivels out. I can't take the other side panel off right now because the CPU 8-pin is too short to reach when it's fully extended down. But that's still really cool. Now I need a SATA power cable, and I know that I've got at least 2 coming off the power supply, so this one should do us. That's plugged in. And this was the other SATA power. Data. SATA data. I might be able to get this. I should have thought about this before I closed up the panel. Do I have another SATA cable sitting around here that has a better edge connector? Maybe? No? Yeah, maybe? It would be nice. Witness the genius of me attempting to do things poorly. Yeah, I don't know about this one. That really needs to go on before. Wait a minute. This might work. Sorry about you not being able to really see this. I am really struggling to get this in. I can't see it either now. There, it's fair. Feel them. Problem is this twist in the cable. Wait a minute. Think. Maybe? No. Wow, this is just really fighting me. Wait a minute, I got it. Oh, okay. Oh. Let's just jam all these cables in here. I don't care anymore. Here, have a second hard drive. Now I'll see you on the desktop. Well, that's a problem. The GTX 660 doesn't work. I've got to say, I did not see that coming. I'm going to mess around a little bit to see if I can get it to work. But I suspect we're going to be moving on to the other graphics card here in a couple minutes. If you see a gaming montage immediately, that means I fixed it. If not, well, we're going to move on to this. Well, I spent about an hour on it and could not get it to work. So, yeah. Also, this just barely clears. I do have a GTX 660 Ti that we could put in here if we really wanted to, but I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments. One more thing that's worth mentioning. Is this have anything in the way? I don't think so. It just felt kind of crunchy. I'm pretty convinced that this graphics card has... Man, I'm just kicking everything today. I'm pretty convinced this card has been mined on, so we will see if it even works. And if it does work, there is a non-zero chance that we can't get the DVI connector off. Okay. We'll have to reset the BIOS on it. A lot of times when crypto bros are just offloading their cards as fast as they can, they forget to take their stupid mining BIOSes off the card. So there's a pretty good chance we're going to have to reset that. But let's see what happens. Okay. Well, we have a screen. That's a step in the right direction. Now we just have to see if the drivers will install. If the drivers install, that probably means the BIOS is fine. If they don't install, well, we know what the issue is. Or at least, there's a good chance that would be the issue. Could still be dead, but we're gonna hope it's good. Another thing is sometimes some of these older motherboards will not support cards as new as the RX 480. We might get lucky here because this was a very good motherboard. First, we're going to go to Device Manager. I'm not expecting to see it yet. It'd be awesome if... Yeah, didn't think so. Let's see if Windows Update picks it up. What do you mean, no internet? Did I forget to plug that back in? No, it was plugged in, it just wasn't plugged in all the way. Try that again. Show me AMD. Show me something. Windows Update sure does take its time, doesn't it? Okay, I'll be back once we have... Wait. Advanced Micro Devices Incorporated Display. Oh, that is huge. Let's see what happens. Well, I saw the screen flicker, but I did not see the resolution change. That's not good. So we're going to probably be dealing with I'm going to guess code 43. I see the little exclamation mark. Properties. Code 43. Okay. So, this could be one of three things. The first thing is it could need a BIOS change because maybe it does still have the mining BIOS on it. I'm just assuming this has been mined on. Number two, it could be that this motherboard does not support this graphics card. We have run into that before on this channel. Or number three, it could just be broken. So, I think what I'm going to do is try to get the... What am I going to do? I need to test this card. I don't really have a system newer than this right now. It's as silly as that is. Yeah, I think we're going to be stuck with older cards on this particular motherboard. Oh boy. If the 660 doesn't work, might be able to throw a 960 in here, but first let me see if I can figure out what BIOS this card has, and I will attempt a flash. Just for posterity. Okay. I think this is the second time we're trying a BIOS flash on this channel. I've downloaded the default, the reference BIOS, which is safe to flash onto the Nitro OC, or Nitro Plus OC, whatever the hell this card is. But we're going to go ahead and try it. I figure that's the safest and easiest way to check if the BIOS flash is all we need. So, let's see if I remember how to use this. Okay. Driver has been installed. I think I have to drag this ROM file into this folder. But I don't remember. Some XML was not found. Okay. Well, that's not gonna work. Oop. Maybe an older version. Yeah. Try an older version. Couldn't just be easy. Wait, why did this give me the Linux version? Am I just dumb? I am dumb. Okay. Well, let me figure this out. I'll be back. Well, I downloaded an older version, which seems to be working. Current BIOS. Huh. I mean, sure. Subsystem IDs mismatch. That is unfortunate. But I think that in order to finish this video and not take a million years, we're going to go ahead and just grab the GTX 960 I have lying around and try that, because it is an upgrade from the 660 and I know it works on systems this old. Before we give up, I have one last shot in the dark. I would very, very much like this card to work. And I just noticed something. This card is fancy. It's got a... It's supposed to have some sort of BIOS switch on it. That doesn't do it. Yeah, VBIOS switch. Where's... Oh. Let's see if I can... Let's try that. I think that other button is just for the LEDs. Maybe not. Well, we've still got picture, so let's see what happens when we get into the system. Nope, that didn't work. So at this point, it's GTX 960 time. Okay, we've got all the games installed, but we're having some real weird performance issues. And I can't help but notice that our CPU's locked at 1.17 gigahertz, which kind of sounds like it's overheating. It will not go higher. The utilization will not go higher. So we're going to go ahead and download Open Hardware Monitor and see if maybe we've got a problem with our cooler, which we might. But let's go ahead and give that a shot here. Extract. I really like Open Hardware Monitor, but I really hate when I need to use it, because that means something's wrong. We're going to pin that to the taskbar just in case we need it more than once. But let's see. Sometimes it can take a hot minute to load, and I suspect with our current performance issues, it might take a little more than... Oh, there we go. Let's see here. Okay, No. Temperatures are fine. Uh, it's just refusing to go above. What the heck is going on? Let's open Task Manager again. Huh. Something's weird. Something's going on. I think we're going to have to go into the BIOS and poke around at the automated overclocking settings. Maybe just turn those off. Because this ain't it. Well, I think I found the problem. CPU ratio is set to 17. I think we're going to go ahead and set that to auto. And I've also enabled XMP as well. Let's see if this helps. We are still getting locked to like 1.4 gigahertz. Task Manager is still reporting 1.17 and doesn't report any more than 44%. Something is not right here. I need to go back to the BIOS. Well, unfortunately, I'm getting pretty close to being out of options because that didn't work. So we need to get back into the BIOS because I have an idea. Way back in the day, I had my own personal PC that had an i7-2600. Really liked that computer. But it had an issue that's very similar to this. And if virtualization was enabled in the BIOS, it would display the CPU speed incorrect. And in my case, it showed 0.38 gigahertz. It was very wrong. So we're going to go ahead and just... I usually like to keep virtualization enabled, but technically speaking, we don't really need it right now. So, what was that last option? Yeah, we're fine. We're also going to go ahead and just increase that a little bit. And see if we can still post. Okay, that's good. So overclocking, I have tried overclocking. I didn't record it. It didn't work. What are we at right now for speed? Oh, it's not going to tell me. I guess we're just going to have to rely on Windows to tell us if it works. And if this doesn't work, we're just going to have to keep moving because I can't do this for weeks. Trying to diagnose why it's displaying the speed incorrectly, because I'm pretty sure that the CPU is running at the correct speed. It's just displaying incorrectly. Let's go ahead and fire up Task Manager real quick. Performance. Yep, still shows wrong. Still shows 1.17. And the fact that Open Hardware Monitor shows a different speed leads me to believe it's just a display error, and that it is, in fact, running at the correct speed. Yeah, this shows 1.48 gigahertz. So, anyway, let's switch monitors because a lot of the games I'm trying to fire up are newer and don't support 4:3 aspect ratios, at least not very well. That's more like it. And since this PC is halfway modern, we are going to try and record our results for the video games with OBS. Wish me luck. So I finally got it to show up correctly in Task Manager. I actually had to go into the registry editor and change Intel PPM to not start. However, if I open up CPU-Z, CPU-Z only shows 1.5 gigahertz, which is just so strange. So I have been benchmarking this CPU as much as I can. I cannot get it to reach what it should be reaching. The multi-thread should be about 1300, and the highest I can get it is like 460, 470. So the single core should be about 330, but we're getting about 125. I cannot get this CPU to perform how it should be performing. I think it's a Windows 10 issue, but at this point there's nothing I can do to fix it. So yeah, that's very strange. I don't know what to do about this. If anyone has any suggestions, don't hesitate to let me know down in the comments. I am just out of ideas at this point. So on to games, I guess. I also just this says 3.35 gigahertz. So is this correct? I'm leaning towards CPU-Z, but I guess we'll find out. there you have it. Despite the problems, it is still capable of playing some pretty reasonable games. I would like to revisit the GTX 660 to see if I can get it running. Those are pretty nice cards after all, but there is something seriously wrong with this PC. We've got the CPU speed issue. I really do not think that it's running at 3.4 gigahertz like it says it's running at. I just don't. It doesn't feel like it. Everything is slow. Even USB file transfers are slow. And I'm not sure if it's some sort of hardware incompatibility with Windows 10, or because we did have to do that registry edit just to get the CPU speed to show up correctly in Task Manager. But it still didn't show up correctly in the other monitors. So I don't know if it's incompatibility with Windows 10. Maybe there's some sort of corruption in the BIOS. I don't know. But I'm out of time. I've been... Wow, USB file transfer just stopped. Oh dear, getting the video recordings off this PC is going to be really slow. But, yeah. Either way, I've been working on this since Thursday when I got home from my Christmas vacation, and it is now Sunday. And I am very quickly running out of time if I want to get a video up. So that's where we're going to have to leave it. If anybody has any suggestions as to what might be causing this really strange CPU behavior, please let me know. I'll try anything at this point, because we should be getting 2 to 3 times the performance that we're currently getting. It is insanely slow, and not just with CPU related tasks. We're talking load times are slow. Just opening the file explorer takes a hot minute. Something is seriously wrong with this PC. So, and I do want to revisit it. I like this computer. So, we're going to be keeping this one. It's going to stick around. And I don't know. Maybe I'll pick up an i7 860 or 870 or something, and maybe see if a Xeon will fit in this system. It would be nice to get 4 extra threads after all. Maybe we'll upgrade the RAM, and I'm sure there's some way to get a newer graphics card to work in this machine. But I digress. It is that time. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm at a loss as to what to do about the CPU. And I do want to specify that I really do think it is something to do with Windows 10, because the CPU speed shows up perfect in the BIOS. It's just, I don't know. Maybe off camera I'll throw Windows 7 on here and see what happens. But in the meantime, I would like to thank you very much for watching and dealing with my eccentric PCs once again. If you like seeing me suffer, although admittedly this wasn't as bad as usual, feel free to go ahead and hit that like button down below, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. Sorry, I am very distracted by watching the USB file transfers stop every now and then. I do not understand what's up with this. But I also have new Patreon members, and I'd like to thank you guys as well for helping support the channel. I do have exclusive content available on my Patreon that is not necessarily pay to view, so feel free to check that out. You don't have to support me if you don't want to. And a very special video coming out probably later after this one. Shouldn't take me long to record, because we just acquired a P.O. box. So you can send me all your junk.